you two vintage stereo collectors and restorers. This is just a really quick video. Just wanted to show you something. This almost always works. There's one that didn't work. I had a needle here. This is from this Superscope R-1220. And you can notice the needle is nice and bouncy. This is one that centers to the middle of the dial for FM peak tuning. Anyway, what was happening is, I'll show you exactly what was happening. I can reproduce it. I'll put this there's a tiny adjustment screw in here. I'll put it where it was. The needle was sticking. It just was not loose enough. And this is what happens to them. Whether it's heat, age, but I think it's really just lubricant drying out. That's what happens with these. And so the setting where the needle was loose enough and the right bearing setting that worked from factory doesn't work anymore because of age. Really easy to fix. You can try putting a drop of oil on there. And actually what I recommend is something like Neutral. Okay? And what you do is you take it over a garbage can or something and just put a little bit in the lid. Then you take a screwdriver, put a little bit on the screwdriver, and just behind where that screw is, just put a drop or two, and it will run down to where the bearing is. It's still too tight though, but we've lubricated it. So now what we're going to do, see a little screw, we're going to go counterclockwise. Be careful. Loosen it a bit. Just enough so that the needle bounces back. You can take it to where you want it, it bounces back. About there. This one was really easy to get out. There's just two screws and some dried masking tape to get the lens off. So now, and I see there's a little hair in there too. Let's get that out of there. Okay, you can clean it inside. There's some grit inside. I cleaned it with a Q-tip. This part here is the glue. You cannot much you can do about it. What I would do now that you put a little lube at the back, you just get, I use just Elmer's clear school glue. And I just put it just onto an old envelope or something, just one drop, just off camera here. They used some kind of Loctite on the screw originally. So we're just going to put a little bit on there. So we use the same screwdriver. I did wipe it off. So we just lock the screw down like that. It'll dry in like 15 minutes. And just make sure it's... You can even turn the unit on and do some tuning to make sure it's right. I'm going to turn the unit on here. There's the light. See how it's nice and bouncy? Goes in both directions. And then when you're at the high point of FM tuning for station, the null point I believe it's called, it'll be in the center. Like that. And actually, you want to make sure it's exactly right. Put it this way. Straight up and down. Like that. Yeah, so the FM stereo light's coming on right on the center point there. Some of them are adjustable as to where that center point is. This one isn't. It's up to the circuitry to provide the right voltage. You can see that nice bright light there. It's an LED fuse lamp. But it's going to light up very nicely. And it's nice and bouncy. So I'm just going to leave that open like for 15-20 minutes. Make sure that dries, make sure it bounces. And put it back together. Be a good time if you've got one of these that's a little bit scratched up. use some like, I use headlamp cleaner or this. What does work really well is plastic headlamp cleaner for cars. Put a little bit on a cotton rag, rub it in a bit. I'm just going to go down the garage and get some. So then I'll have a really nice looking lens. And then, to put it all together, I would get rid of this. There's some Scotch tape here. I would actually, yeah, I'm just going to trim that with a scissor and then glue it, close it up with some electrical tape. One at the bottom, one at the top. Then you don't have light bleeding off in the different parts. And that should be fine for years. Thanks for watching and listening.